At exactly 3 a.m., nearly every phone on campus vibrated at once. Dorm rooms flickered with cold light, screens glowing in dark spaces before hands reached out from under blankets. The notification read, "Emergency alert test. Shelter in place." Most students assumed it was a glitch. Universities run drills all the time. Fire alarms, weather alerts, active threat simulations. Still, 3 a.m. on a Tuesday felt wrong. Group chats lit up almost instantly. Is this real? Did you get that? Why now? Hallways remained quiet. A few doors opened briefly. Fluorescent lights hummed overhead. No shouting. No running. 3 minutes later, another alert arrived. This one didn't say, "Test," it said. "This is not a drill. Shelter in place immediately." The tone shifted. Doors locked. Lights turned off. Blinds closed. Social feeds filled with screenshots. Some students tried calling campus police. No answer. At 3:09 a.m., the outdoor sirens activated. But the sound wasn't steady. It stuttered at the start like the system hesitated. The wail echoed between concrete buildings, slightly warped. Unstable. Then came the third message. Short. Direct. Do not respond to the voice. No context. The campus website crashed within minutes. The emergency hotline redirected to a recorded message. All operators are currently unavailable. In one residence hall, a student recorded the empty hallway outside her door. The video was only 20 seconds long. Halfway through, something faint could be heard. Not the siren. Not footsteps. A voice. Calm. Even? Too even. The words weren't clear, but several viewers later claimed it sounded like someone calling a name. At 3:12 a.m., the sirens cut off. No fade. Just silence. Phones stayed still after that. No updates. No instructions. Across campus, students remained awake, listening, waiting. And within the early morning, quiet beneath the hum of air vents and settling pipes, some reported hearing it. A voice in the hallway. Not loud. Not urgent. Just close enough to make them question whether it was coming from outside their door or from somewhere much nearer. By 3:18 a.m., the campus was silent again. No sirens. No new alerts. No explanation. Students stayed inside, phones dimmed, waiting for an update. None came. At 3:21 a.m., the first knocking was reported. 3 soft taps on a dorm room door in Hawthorne Hall. The student inside assumed it was a friend. He didn't open it. Instead, he texted, "Someone's outside." Replies were immediate. "Don't answer." "Ignore it." The knocking came again. 3 taps. Even spacing. He checked the peephole. The hallway was empty. Lights steady. No shadows. At 3:24 a.m., another student, 3 floors up, reported the same pattern. 3 taps. Pause. 3 taps. Similar messages began appearing across campus. No one saw anyone outside their doors. Some students pressed their phones against the wood to record. On playback, the knocking sounded wrong. Not hollow, like it came from the hallway. Duller. Closer. At 3:27 a.m., a new alert appeared. No vibration. Just text. Ignore the knocking. It only continues if acknowledged. Campus police posted online. "We are aware of the situation. Please remain in place." The wording felt controlled, minimal. Then one door opened. A sophomore in West Tower said the knocking had moved down his hallway room to room. 3 taps. Pause. He opened his door during the pause. The hallway was empty. But security footage later showed something else. At 3:29 a.m., his door opened slowly. No one stood outside. Yet the motion continued inward as if pushed. The student stepped back. On camera, he froze, head tilted, like he was listening. Hallway audio picked up a faint sound. Not knocking. A voice. Very close to the mic. Soft enough to almost disappear. Enhanced later, one phrase became clear. "Are you there?" At 3:31 a.m., students who had reported knocking stopped replying. Not offline, just silent. The next morning, several dorm rooms were found slightly open, exactly 3 inches. By 3:40 a.m., the campus felt unnaturally quiet. Group chats slowed, then stopped. Messages stayed delivered, not read. At 3:44 a.m., an email appeared in student inboxes. Subject: System clarification. It claimed the earlier alert was caused by a technical malfunction and instructed students to remain calm. The timestamp read 1:12 a.m., nearly 2 hours before the first alert. Screenshots spread quickly. Some thought it was a formatting error. Others noticed something stranger. The sender address wasn't the official emergency domain. It was internal. A server designation used only for automated testing. At 3:48 a.m., the university website came back online. No emergency banner. No archive. No incident report. Campus IT began reviewing system logs. According to a technician who later spoke anonymously, no emergency alert had been sent at 3:03 a.m. No test scheduled. No manual override. No login activity. The system showed no outbound message at all, except one line. 30 channel initialized. The campus alert system was text-based. It had no live audio function. At 3:52 a.m., a student in Morgan Hall recorded a voice memo. She whispered that someone was standing outside her door. She said she could see a shadow under the frame. Then she stopped speaking. For 7 seconds, there was silence. Later, when the file was replayed, something else was heard beneath the room tone. Breathing. Not from the hallway. From inside the room. At 3:57 a.m., several hallway cameras briefly lost connection. When the feeds returned, timestamps were intact. But in one frame, just one dark distortion appeared in front of multiple dorm doors, not shaped like a person. Just interference. At 4:03 a.m., every alert vanished from student phones. No history. No notification log. At 4:07 a.m., campus police released a final statement. There is no active threat. No emergency occurred. By morning, classes were not canceled. Officially, nothing had happened, but several dorm doors that had been left slightly open overnight were found closed, perfectly aligned, and in multiple recordings captured across campus after the knocking stopped, after the alerts disappeared. A faint voice could be heard near the end, very close to the microphone, calm, measured, saying, "Thank you for responding." By noon, the university had moved on. A campus-wide email described the previous night as a minor systems anomaly. There was no threat. A review was underway. Most students accepted it. Midterms mattered more than confusion at 3:03 a.m. Still, small inconsistencies surfaced. In multiple residence halls, maintenance staff reported that several doors required hinge adjustments that morning. No forced entry. No broken locks. Just strain. Like something had held them open. Campus IT confirmed there was no sign of hacking. No malware. No breach. The emergency server showed no outbound alert. But one log entry remained. 30:17. Audio channel initialized. Engineers searched for an associated file. There was none. No recording. No input device. No stored stream. Just the timestamp. Students who had recorded audio that night began comparing files. In several recordings from different dorms, a faint low-frequency tone appeared between 3:29 and 3:31 a.m., barely audible, lasting 9 seconds. The waveform pattern was nearly identical across devices. Different phones, different buildings. When amplified, something subtle emerged beneath the tone. Not distorted, not loud, almost conversational. The same phrase in each file. "Thank you for responding." The university attributed it to compression artifacts and shared interference from the siren system. Classes continued. President's Life advised students not to speculate. Weeks later, the campus ran a scheduled emergency test at noon. Phones vibrated. Sirens worked normally. The message read, "Emergency alert test. No action required." Everything functioned as expected, except for one detail. System logs showed that at 3:03 a.m. the night before the official test, the same line appeared again. 3:33. Third channel initialized. No alert followed. No sirens. Officially, but several students who experienced the first incident reported waking at 3:03 a.m. that morning. No notification. No sound. Just the sensation that someone had spoken very close to them. Not from the hallway. From somewhere behind them. Calm. Measured. As if confirming attendance. And in rooms where no alarms had sounded, some later admitted they had answered.